egg sandwiches, microphones. Tuesday, the 2nd of January 2024. It's 5 AM and I am off out on a rather exciting drive to the other end of the country and back from somewhere else as well. 500 miles in total. In fact, more. 566 by the time I got home. Nigel is going on his biggest ever road trip. Well, certainly biggest with me. Maybe he's done further with somebody else. First stop is some place in East Anglia, can't remember the name, where I shall pick up a friend of mine called James, who's reasonably well known. From there we shall travel back up north with a stop along the way to meet Boaty, where we'll have the very first episode of Mustard and Boaty do celebrity lunches. And then off we shall go to Colwyn Bay, where we shall be collecting a car for James. Then I shall go home. I'm looking at way over 500 miles. Of course, I did a 500-mile trip recently in this car with a coolant leak, but that was over 2 days. And last year, or in fact the year before now, I went to see the same chap called James in Nigel, but we didn't have a big detour. And now for the first of many a time-lapse sequence. This one was filmed just quite simply because it was too dark for you to see my face and I couldn't think of anything interesting to say. This is a rather dull patch of motorway on the A1M, down to a 40 limit, which is pretty slow. But then the driver in front, or the driver in front of that, is doing just over 30 and gabbing the... oh, it's down to 30 now. Oh, it's under 30. Gosh, that's way too slow for a motorway. Come on, let's do some going. 58 miles in and the really sleepy tiredness is starting to creep in. As you can see, it's dark still. It's dark after an hour of travelling in the dark, and it's going to be dark for another hour. How do you cope with sleepiness on the road? Many years back, I was on my way to work at 6 in the morning, driving a Rover. Yep, and I was going along the M3 because I lived in the south at the time, and I was feeling very sleepy. And I had this really weird thought, which was, oh, I'll just have a quick nap now, and then I'll be okay by the time I get there. My own strange thought brought me back round again. I pulled over and had a nap in a lay-by with the engine running and woke up an hour later. Just tried the head out the window method there.
Director of the CIA. He believes that
133 miles in and it's just starting to get light. That's a long way to spend in the dark. But as this was becoming a problem, I just did a live stream. So I spent 50 minutes just talking rubbish to anyone that will listen. Amazing how welcome a proper motorway is after all that dual carriageway. Is your buddy, look good on bam bam, a salty little flavoured friend. A salty little flavoured friend indeed. That's what I haven't got in a bag, because I don't buy crisps.
You used the word shit, didn't you?
Yes, I did, but the point is...
Other people said they heard shithole, you're saying you said shit. Fine. The third thing I was going...
no, other people actually hear what I said. I know...
Should I try to win the leg with the bullseye?
Lena Gabriella Russa, the very latest from our tennis correspondent.
To do an Anglo-Irish agreement with the Dublin government.
What I find jarring.
And a lot of that came on that.
Look at all this litter down here. Isn't that amazing? That must be truckers kipping over in the lay-by and getting pissed. And now, as you can see, I am driving along the road with James Martin. James is the one with the purple shirt on, in case you're curious. But why? Why may you be thinking? Why am I talking over this? Why am I overdubbing this conversation that we appear to be having at 100 miles per hour? Well, because there's no sound on. We're just having a conversation. That's all. Oh, what's this going on now? Miserable, sodding day. Oh, left it in gear. If you like rain, then you should come on a journey with me. One of these journeys like this, it's fabulous. You basically drive in the rain, you get out of your car, you walk in the rain. You get your face wet, you get your shoes wet, you get your socks wet, and basically you get drenched, and you have to enjoy that kind of thing, otherwise you'll be annoyed. Thank you.
With your Jennifer Aniston hairstyle. Did you put conditioner in this morning specially?
No, I didn't. And here I go again, overdubbing the video rather than editing it into small segments that make it worthwhile watching. I mean, it's awful, this isn't terrible. Look at James Martin sat there answering both his stupid bloody questions, and I can't even be bothered to actually sort them out, to turn them into some sort of watchable video for your entertainment purposes. Actually, later on, if I can find the motivation, I might just chop up a few bits and bung them back in. But half of the problem that we have here is that whilst we're in this particular eatery place, they have music on in the background. Copyright music. The kind of music that we couldn't possibly get away with being in the background of a video and still be allowed to have it monetized. So there! Anyway, the thing is, on Boaty's World, the whole conversation will be on there, completely unedited. So just go and watch it there. Second tank of fuel. And off to Wales. Filled with steak and chicken and chips and all sorts of bits. James and I continued our journey off to Wales, where we chatted pretty much all of the way, come to think of it. Not sure what this particular conversation was all about, but it was obviously really rather good. And then we went our separate ways. Final stop on this rather long and fruitful journey. Sorry? Other side. Yeah. On my way back now from Colwyn Bay, and it's just as dark now as it was when I set off out this morning. 482 miles so far, and probably another, I reckon, 70 miles to go. It was a good day having lunch with James and Boaty. Oh yeah, lovely steaky dinner. Oh yeah, I enjoyed that. More or less the final leg of this rather tiring and lengthy journey. Tiredness really kicking in again here. This is the first time I've been alone and not talking to somebody for hours. And
says she doesn't know which force has been dealing with it. It said around 4.5 million more people shopped at the stores last month.
Its growth was boosted by sales in its meat categories, including premium Wagyu beef joints, as shoppers sought to treat themselves over the holidays. It also sold 42 million pigs in blankets last month.
Stopped at Lim Services, the truck services. It's really trucky. It's great. It's full of tractors and big trucks with big horns and stuff. And not been here for years. Almost there. Almost at the end of a very, very busy day, full of rain and dark and treachery. The miles were many, the rain was busy, but the purpose was purposeful and the Nigel was reliable. The rain went supposedly unrecorded, the fords as deep as your elbow whilst you're lying down. There could have been so many things to have gone wrong. My stomach filled, then emptied again, filled, then emptied again, due for a renewal. Oh, feed me. Feed my hole, please, please feed my hole.